study yourself, you discover the nature of relationships. Your average person believes that their mother is their mother, their father is their father, their uncle is their uncle, their friend is their friend. Because they live at the surface, they live at the phenomenological level. Right? They live at the surface of SimCity. And they enjoy or suffer these relationships at that level. Right? This is your average person. This is my mother. Okay, fine, sure, at the surface, she's your mother. But if you go a little deeper into the code, well, she's not your mother, is she? She's a composite of certain kind of forces, and you're a composite of certain kind of, whatever you think you are is a composite of certain forces, and there's a relation between these composites of forces. What that relationship is it's subject to discover. And this is what how the Hindus call this the law of karma. Things are not as they appear, but you can discover this for yourself if you want to. In fact, I highly recommend it. Without it, I don't know how you can live. But anyways, people enjoy the surface. If it works for you, it works for you. So as you start to discover the code, well, now you read the code, you're like, oh, okay, so these are the energies that are comprised in her. Fuck that, you don't even care. These are the energies that I'm comprised, and that's the level of relation, at that level. And this is the contract. And I need to pay that in order for the contract to be void. Or in order to complete the contract. And as I was saying, well, it's not very easy to pay the contract. You can fulfill it at certain levels, meaning in the fetish level, meaning offering experiences or highs or lows, right? But to actually fulfill the contract in its finest print so that there's a resolution. Remember, when a contract ends, there's a resolution. If there's no resolution, a contract doesn't really end. We may be in the process, and the process may be endless because we don't know how to resolve the true issue and resolve the contract. Anyways, so you start to discover those things. And you realize, well, she's not your mother. When you're at the surface, she's your mother. But it's not your mother. This is not your father. This is not your brother. This is what people, no, what are you saying? That's my mom. I'm like, no, it's not your mom. You think it's your mom. She is your mom at a level. At the very surface, she is your mom. But she's not your mom. Come on, how could she be your mom? First, you would need to be able to define who you are in order to be able to know if you have a mom and who's your mom. And you don't know who you are. So you identify yourself to the form that you see, and that form was birthed by her body. She didn't do anything. What did she do? She was just there. Whatever she is, right? Because we haven't defined what I is. Whatever she is, was there. Now she identifies with her body, and she identifies with her biological processes, which means she believes that she is the one who birthed you, but she didn't birth you. Her body birthed you, and her body is under the control of nature. Nature is the external appearance of the mind. So then when you want to look in, if you go look a little deeper behind the veil of nature, you see code. So nature is not even what you think it's code. So is that your mom? Like I said, at a level, but it's only at the surface. Then you start to enter into the world of powers. It says so also in the Bibles. I'm not going to quote it properly, but it's like we're not dealing with flesh and blood. We're dealing with powers, principalities. Everything is made of powers, and these are mental powers, all kinds of powers, and there's a hierarchy of mental powers, and these powers express themselves in the material realm at different times through different circumstances, and we are the simulation surface expression. It's not we, well, whatever we think we are. This is hard to express, right? The thing I think I am is the expression of a conglomerate of powers that have been dancing for countless generations and are a mixture of these energies. Like, it's extremely complex. Like if you think cryptocurrency or Ethereum is complicated and cross chains is complicated, this is like child's play compared to the creation and its infinite universal mind genius. So of course me, I'm a little crazy, so I have a fetish. I'm very interested in studying the mind of God. And I think I've done well for myself. But it's so big and grand, so I can only fathom what is revealed to me, and what's not revealed to me, I don't even know it. But I'm mature enough to know that there's much more than meets what I know. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is that nothing is as it seems, and if you want to discover yourself, you want to discover who is I. But you don't know who is I. So some people say I doesn't exist. I'm an animal, and when I die, it's finished. They're allowed to believe this because from a level at the very surface, it seems to be so. Then you have religious zealots who are like, no, we are souls, and the soul is eternal. And you have the New Age fuckers who are saying we are in constant evolution, going from one dimension to the next. Fucking great. Do you really know this? Or you believe this? So I put all this junk aside. I have my hypotheses. And I'm in this, what is I? This is what I'm discovering. And in order to discover what I is, I have to journey through the mind. And go at the very root of the mind, whatever that is. Because I want to know who I am. Well, maybe I is nothing. Who knows? So different schools of thoughts have different expressions or have presented their own thesis on what that is. We enter into the battlings of spiritual organizations or spiritual doctrines, not religious. And most people will never know about these things because everything for them is the same. It's not. So each one has their this is how it works, and and maybe it works, and this is their interpretation depending on how deep they went, and it's a universe like people who study science, the real scientists behind the scene that you'll never know, who have their hypotheses and try to figure things out that you'll never know what they're really finding, but they'll leak some basic information for your average idiot to sell you a product. The same goes for, it's not spiritual sciences, that would be nicely said. So I guess in a way I'm a spiritual scientist, but I don't like the word spiritual because then you expect me to be a spiritual person, and clearly I'm not. But you see what I'm trying to say. So, and at the end of the day, I don't care what this lineage says or that lineage says. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I'm interested in what I find and what I discover. And of course, I'm being guided, and because you're you're journeying in infinite, literally infinity. How do you navigate through the infinite ocean? How do you do that? By reading a book, right? Nietzsche. Get the fuck out of here. Anyways, this is a complex game. This is not for everybody. Your average folk is happy at the surface. I'm Tom Brady. And it's great. Maybe it's great to be Tom Brady. Maybe it's not. It's not for me, that's for sure. Otherwise, I'd be Tom Brady. And I think Tom Brady does a great job for all Tom Bradys. Shout out to Tom Brady. But I wouldn't want to be Tom Brady. But I think he does a good job at being Tom Brady for all of us. That being said, it's not for everybody. It may be for you. If it's for you, find yourself a teacher. Otherwise, you're going to get deluded. Like people who take mushrooms and think they find God. They found something. So anyways, it's complex. And you need to I don't know, you don't need to do anything, but consider this. We say that the mind is infinite. So you mean to tell me that if you eat a mushroom that comes from a cow shit, you can travel through infinity? Right. That's some powerful shit, man. Right, eh? I wish I was dumb. I'd love to be like that too, man. I'd love to be dumb like that. Man, I just eat like the fermentation of shit. I eat that fucking thing, that fungi, and then I'm gonna cross the infinite ocean of life by eating a mushroom. How easy. Of course, there's these weekend workshops that allow you to do that also. And I'll stop at that.